Over 3 years ago, Eric July took the biggest risk of his life, investing hundreds of thousands of dollars to launch an independent comic book company that would handle its own distribution. That leap of faith became Rippaverse Publishing. Since then, thanks to fans like you, the Rippaverse has sold over 300,000 books and generated more than $12 million in sales. Its catalog now spans multiple titles and genres with a growing team of creators, artists, and editors, all working to deliver fun, grounded storytelling without the issues that have recently plagued the comic book industry. To celebrate the company's 3-year anniversary on July 11th, 2025, we're excited to announce the launch of the Rippaverse Omnibus, Years 1 through 3, a massive collection featuring every single title from ISOM number 1 to Norfolka Glorious Death. That's over 1,100 pages in one epic volume, with stories from legendary creators like Chuck Dixon, Joe Bennett, Will Conrad, the Soska sisters, and many more who helped build this universe. Thank you for choosing the Rippaverse. We're just getting started, and we look forward to continuing this journey with all of you. Pre-order your copy of the Rippaverse Omnibus, Years 1 through 3, now at rippaverse.com.
My name is Zephyr Arland, and I'm doing something stupid. My family? We've got a secret, and I've never been allowed to attend normal school before now because of it. Mom and Dad say high school can be a bit of a culture shock, but how bad can it really be? After all, getting up to speed is something I do best. I know they're worried, but I can be careful. Only time will tell if this is the worst idea ever. Oh, sparks and bolts! Or the very best idea ever. I can't help but wonder, though, can I be something more? I guess we can give this a tryout.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? I hope you all are doing lovely. We are live over here on the Rippaverse side. I know I was live earlier. And yeah, we of course have two things big that are happening. We have the Omnibus that's closing out tonight at 11 p.m. And of course, we just launched RippaZine issue number 5, which features a short story, Blue Shift Tryouts, which is written by our creative manager, which is joining us live here today, Mr. Andrew Rodriguez. I'm really, really excited to talk about that story here in a bit because he's making his debut, really big time debut with this story. And I know you guys are going to enjoy it. That said, let me go around table, introduce everybody. I got over here to my left, I guess. Carol, how you doing?
I'm good. I want you all to know that while Eric was out last week, he made us pay for it this week, and we've all been very busy.
Yeah, she's not lying. I was out the entire week, and so they were playing catch up right alongside me. So I know this has been a very strenuous week for everybody, and I apologize ahead of time to my team. Well, actually, it's
no,
not
you don't.
That's in retrospect,
That's a fucking
boss.
lie.
that is not ahead of time. Would have been like last week. Hey, just as a heads up, I'm out this week. Y'all are gonna feel it next week.
Yeah. It was kind of like, I hope you guys enjoyed your vacation. We're going back to work.
Yeah, this is the retroactive thing. Don't work.
He's laughing. He knows it's true. Look at him.
Yeah, that's fair. Andrew's right. He's correct on that. He's correct on that. So yeah, we've been working hard. They get the weekends off at least. They like to pretend maybe they get the weekend off. I won't be off though tomorrow. I'm going to be working all day, but I appreciate their hard work. Seriously, I got the best team.
Eric does shoot me away on the weekend if you see.
Yeah. I get actually pissed when people work off on the weekend because like stuff like we have our weeks like this. We're going to have our weeks where it's going to be busy, but it's not as crazy. And then we got a crazy week like this week. And so I'm expecting a lot out of people. So it's important you guys get your days off. So yeah, if I see people working, usually like, I'm like, hey, turn that brain off and go do something else. So,
but if you don't see us, it's all good, right?
Yeah. It's like, I guess that is true. As long as I don't see you guys, that's usually what happens.
Also, that's how we operate.
Also joined by the writers of both Yaira and Blood Ruth and Catch and kill and all sorts of other stuff that's dropping soon enough. Jen and Sylvia, how you doing?
Go ahead.
Sorry, we haven't, because it's a special occasion and we're celebrating Andrew and Blue Shift. We will be in the same room just for this stream.
We do still hate each other.
100%.
Yeah, until the Cursed and the Black Eye Club is done. We are not really on speaking terms.
Yeah, I will say, guys, definitely let your kids read Blue Shift, but when you get to the back of the book,
don't
don't let them read the previews for Michael.
Just pre-read those previews. Even Norfolk kind of gets there, man.
Oh, Norfolk goes hard on the Great War 3. There's some stuff. Unless you're raising a Saska sister, read it first, and then if you're like, who cares what they read, then you go for it.
I read Chris Claremont as a kid and I turned out fine. Anyways, we're doing good, boss. We're doing good.
Well, that's great. Appreciate you ladies' hard work as of late. And of course, the man of the hour, which is my man's Andrew, who is the creative manager here. And I want to give him some credit here because there's a lot of people, everybody's stoked on the new character. And he again, I'll talk about this maybe a little later. Just I do want to make sure that he gets his credit where it's due, because he was a lot of, I guess, the character being kind of conceptualized, a big demand, right, for this type of character in our universe. And he was as the creative manager as well as a social media manager. He has the ear to a lot of what the fans want. So him bringing this up as a pitch to myself was awesome to hear that from him. And it just goes to show that everybody here is all about like listening to you guys, your fans, and the feedback, and that's how cool concepts kind of happen out of that. But Andrew, man, how you feeling? We got Blue Shift tryouts. That is part of issue 5. We're already at 5 issues on the RippaZine, man. How you feeling?
Man, I didn't expect it to feel like this. I don't think anything could have actually prepared me for how it feels. The response from the fans, the support of the team, everybody just loving everything about it, all the way down to my man's Jason Griffith voicing Zephyr.
Oh man, that
was
again
Sonic
your idea. That's
Shadow
all your idea.
Hedgehog.
Something you helped make happen, by the way.
The voice of Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog for nearly a decade throughout both cartoons and video games. Like that was, I can't think of much more appropriate casting than that. And people like, I can't remember the last time I saw, 'cause for those of you who are not like in the know on like the back end of social media stuff, algorithms are all whacked right now, like on every single platform and on YouTube. Getting engagement's a pain in the butt. But our social media has been blowing up, like on platforms where it's usually like lower than X.
Yeah.
So like Facebook and Instagram are blowing up. Same with our TikTok, and you guys' response has just been overwhelming. And there's been a ton of comments. Is that Sonic? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, himself voicing it. Yeah, and that was, and again, I want to bring that up because that's so important to this, to how this all happened. I mean, that was all Andrew's idea there in making in getting like Jason involved in this, and it's like really cool to see like again this type of character existing in our universe, and it was such a demand for. And you didn't come with like, hey, I just got this idea. It was more, yeah, I have this idea, but this is why this makes sense, right? And this and showing like basically having the data to back up part of the pitch, like why this makes sense for a character like this to exist in our universe was excellent, man. Great idea, and obviously validated because the customers seem to the fans seem to love all of you all. Well, they love this, and we're closing in. Well, we just hit over 750. Yeah, cross 20,000 in total sales, which is huge. So appreciate y'all so much for all the love that you have shown, and I can't wait for your feedback on this once you end up getting the RippaZine issue number 5. So again, big shout out to the team, all the creative team. You guys have been very active this week and helping make this happen, because the RippaZines, they are a collaborative effort between everybody, because you have small, like you get short stories, you get interviews. Saska's help a lot with that, and obviously Carol's helping bring everybody together to make sure we got enough.
She cracks the whip.
Yeah, she's helping everybody get on the same page, and I thank her for that. But it's very much a team effort for these RippaZines, and it is kind of crazy to believe that we are 5 issues into this, and issue number 4 will be shipping soon enough. Yaira shipping Monday, by the way. So there's that. Yaira will be shipping, Yaira 3, that is, will be shipping Monday, and then right after that, we'll have issue 4 of that of the RippaZine, which is going to be a Catch a Kill, which is still in Jen. So please let us know.
We're
how you
almost
feel
sold
about
out
this
of that
book.
collector's edition too, guys.
Let
Like,
us
was it
know.
yesterday or the day before yesterday? We were under 50 copies left. Like, get that. That's a beautiful Kanan cover. Okay, that's redundant. Every Kanan cover is a beautiful Kanan cover,
I
but
know, right?
it's an especially beautiful one because it really captures that like gritty, you know, investigative reporter journalism vibe in that cover. So guys, grab that while you still can. If you miss out, maybe you
Then
should
it's
have moved a little
gone
faster.
forever. Maybe speed to rippaverse.com.
Ooh.
See what you did there.
I'm so proud of you.
See what you did there.
Want me to give you a
Every now
fun?
and then I'm reminded I do have a positive influence around here, at least to some degree.
Okay,
Andrew's real quick to dash to the puns.
I'm gonna try to pull up the omnibus stuff here.
Eric doesn't
Okay,
even
man.
put up with it. He changed the subject.
Nah, he just like I didn't even hear any of that. He's
Yeah, no,
got auto
it's easy for me to
out
get
on
like
those.
to tune stuff out. Like I don't know, that's my like superpower right there. Like I can tune stuff out easily.
That's his acceptability.
Yes, it's just being able to tune stuff out. The Rippaverse Omnibus years 1 through 3, by the way, is closing in on $100,000 in total sales. Almost 650 total books sold. This is 1,300 plus pages. Features every single story that we have put out from ISOM number 1 to Norfolk Glorious Death. So everything. That's all the material, including the RippaZine stuff, minus RippaZine number 5, obviously. But RippaZine 1 through 4 will be a part of that. And like I said, 1,300 plus pages. There is a collector's edition that is really available only through the collection window. So after 11 p.m. Central tonight, that will no longer be available. You won't be able to purchase that on our website. You have to
Don't
get
be up
lucky
in my
after that.
DMs. Don't
Yeah.
be up in the emails. Don't be shooting out support tickets.
Hitting the
Hey,
help
man,
desk.
I was
No,
at
don't be
work.
doing
Well,
none
were
of
you
that.
at work for the last 24 hours? No, you weren't. You slept on it. You're too slow. Get it figured out. You got till 11 p.m. Central.
Exactly. So don't come hitting us up at all about any of that stuff. So
Unless you come to me with like a bribe. Like I'm very bribable. I accept tacos, puppies, coffee.
And
I mean,
you just got a puppy.
I can use another. There's always room for more puppies.
Oh man.
Right?
Once
Yeah.
you get past 3 dogs, I think the sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. My dogs is the size of more than Jen and Syl's dogs combined. So like, and then multiplied by like 3. So I'm good. I'm good right now.
Well, seriously, get it now while you can. And you're gonna enjoy it. We'll work hard to get that printed and shipped to you all as quick as we possibly can. But I want to put everybody on the spot here. Really, this is what we're going to be talking about all tonight is the omnibus. So we're talking everything Rippaverse. And the great thing about the Rippaverse is that we don't have high turnover. So pretty much everybody that's here, like Carol and Andrew, they've been here from day one, and like not too long after day one, the Saskas joined on with writing Yaira and beyond. So pretty much everybody that's been here has been here from the get-go. So I wanted to know, and I guess I'll answer the question first. If you guys have like not including your own, if you had like a story or maybe even a story beat that you guys found as your favorite with the Rippaverse so far. Not the best, doesn't mean the best. Best and favorite are 2 completely different things. So I want to go round table. I guess I'll go first. It's a general thing, at least for me. Obviously, I got to see it firsthand with Alpha Core because that was the next book that came out. But seeing a guy like Chuck Dixon handle the 3 members of Alpha Core was so obviously special for me because, wow, a guy whose work I was reading my entire, youth, right, is now writing some characters that I created. That's kind of still like I'm pinching myself all the time on that. But what was so awesome about it is him being able to give like some of the characters depth while also it remaining true to them. I know I've talked about this a lot before in how Brian acts like Brian. Braxwell obviously acts like Braxwell, and Ingrid acts like Ingrid as part of the original vision.
It's easy to write Braxwell's voice, to be fair.
Yeah, that's pretty easy, right?
You're on
Come on,
fire.
you cannot just give me low hanging fruit like that. You really, but we're now
I
in
set it
year
up.
4. You cannot just lay it up
I
for me
set
like
up.
that.
I did set that up. I'll take responsibility for that one for sure. But yeah, they're all believable, and it was something that I also learned a lot from because I'm seeing this kind of from the inside, obviously, as just a creator and obviously a writer here, in how he's effectively able to do that, because it does take a certain amount of talent to be able to say, I'm taking this character that already exists, that we have all this material on, at least internally, like with our universe Bible. Now I'm going to put them in believable scenarios that are original concepts, which was really cool. You know what I mean? It was really cool to see, and it was among some of my, like, obviously Alpha Core was special because it was the first book that we saw. Shout out, much love. But yeah, it was the first book that we saw, and I was like, man, this is unreal. I mean, I created these characters, but they're in these scenarios that I would have never thought to put them in, like the whole eagle's nest thing. Obviously I came up with the blimp concept, but like this airship essentially, and like the idea that it's going to crash into the town, and there's all that, and that in itself, there were some challenges that were associated with it, and in doing that, you know, having that basically wreck, really due to kind of Brian and his naivety, right? Which again is very much part of his character. To see that play out the way that it did, I was like, man, this is amazing. I would have never thought to do that. Only a guy like Chuck Dixon. So I learned a lot from that, which is why it makes it such a I find it a favorite of mine as far as a story beat in the Rippaverse. So what about you, Carol? You've been here from, again, really since day one. What about you?
I mean, my favorite story is obviously Boyfriend. Like anything that pertains to Boyfriend. But I guess my favorite Rippaverse beat was the day before you launched. So for everybody who doesn't know, and if I've told the story, I apologize. You'll have to hear it again. But before Eric launched Rippaverse, I was working for him part-time, and I had a full-time gig with another place, and he messaged me. He's like, hey, can you take tomorrow off to help me out with this thing? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'd love to do that. And so the day off turned into a week off because everything exploded. And my boss over at my main gig, like, got it. And he was like, okay, I'll see you next week. Right. Because obviously he didn't have to pay me because I wasn't there. Yeah. But that's always been a really fascinating beat because it's not the only time that we've had that beat happen. Yeah. Like, and we always have like the pivot mentality that happens, but it's always like every time we do something, like something unexpected will happen. And we have to like race to keep up with it. Okay, so, no, I think that's probably my favorite beat. It's the oh shit, this just happened. Adapt. We do that.
I like that. Yeah, that's like a company thing, like that. Which that's nothing to like sleep on. Like that does require a lot of know-how. And you got to be savvy enough to be able to do that. And more than the audience would ever know, because, you know, we're working behind the scenes all the time, that we do that. Right. And it's like something happens or there's a challenge of some sort. And sometimes it's not even about the creative stuff. Sometimes it's more like just about like, okay, it could be warehouse related. It could be logistics related, where we're like, okay, well, what we were doing, we can't do that anymore for X reason. And so now we have to put our heads together and pivot, and we have to do it quickly, right? That is something, that is a talent, and that does speak to the teamwork here that we got at the Rippaverse, because man, that's not an easy thing to ever do, to say we had this plan changed, right? Like So
Yeah.
now let's make an adjustment and roll.
And it's
with the
it's not even stuff like within our control. Like at one point,
Yeah.
like our shipping provider broke up with their best friend, and in
Yeah.
the process of doing that, lost like $30,000 of our product. And we were like, okay, get in the truck. We have to go find it. Like, let's go.
No, exactly. That is literally like like it's a challenge, right? It's some of that stuff is going to be levied at you that it wasn't your control. It wasn't like a mistake. It wasn't like some natural thing. It was just it happened and it was out of your control. Now you have to deal with it. And you know, I love that we have a great team that's ready to field that stuff and also puts their heads together to come up with the solution, right? And it requires everybody's input. That's at least part of that team. It requires all their input to be like, okay, well, let's try this, or we need to do that, or we need to do that. And yeah, I really admire this team in their efforts, because that's not an easy thing to do. It might make it look easy, but that's not an easy thing to do at all. So shout out to the team, all the Rippaverse team from all departments and everybody, all of you guys. You're all awesome. So what about you, Jen and Sylvia? You got some favorite story beats or anything like that you want to share with the company? Or, well, not sharing with the company, but sharing with everybody else about the company.
This was a spoiler that I had to sit on for a while, and it was the same character, but it was in 2 different books, and I love her, and that's Harriet Silman. Every single book that you write, Eric, has a babe, some badass babe. And when I was reading Ice on 3, I was like, first Yaira, then Bloodruth. Who's going to be the chick in this one? And I'm reading it, and I'm like, okay, we're really focusing on Avery's story. This is so interesting. And then Darren sends his thugs to his parents' house, and Jacob's outside and he's distracted, and they go inside and they start manhandling Harriet. And there's this great full page where they hit her with a chair. And I remember seeing that and reading in the script and being so angry. And I was like, it's like Altona getting slapped by Darren all over again. I'm so upset about this. And then she just calmly gets up and she starts talking to them. And the things that she says are so badass, so heroic, where she talks about how they come into her house with such casualty that she knows she's done this before. They come into her place of peace. And she has such a badass kind of vibe to her. And then can I say Great War II things? Can I?
Well, yeah, that's been long shipped. So yeah,
thank God. Okay. And then when the mech,
we're too pregnant now, anyways. You gotta just
these scripts were existing at the same time behind the scenes. So I was just like, Harriet's the coolest character ever. And the mech excepts come to the neighborhood and they go after Avery and his little friend, and she just goes at them. And there's even a point where her clothes is all ripped up and you can kind of see her underwear, and she's just like picking this truck up and throwing it. And you're like, man, she is a badass. And you're like, if that's Isam's mother, what is he going to end up doing? And it comes from a whole line of people. So yeah, I really love Harriet. And then we can't say Horseman 1 things, can we?
I will hold off on that one. That one.
Okay.
That one's.
Well,
that
guys,
was,
That
when
only
you
just
get your
started shipping.
mailboxes, there's a cool thing that happens in there. Caro knows.
Boyfriend's
Literally,
everywhere.
that doesn't. She's the wrong person to ask. Don't toss that
I
question
love
to her.
boyfriend.
It's that
Right
any
person.
panel that Hector is in is
It's
her
beautiful.
favorite panel
Like,
ever.
I want to tell you guys about this one. There's one where he's shirtless. Oh my goodness, it's my favorite. In fact,
All
they're
right.
all
Go in
my
the attic while
favorite.
he's doing
All right, go take a cold shower.
No, I'm here today.
How about you, Jay?
Well, boss, obviously, the death of Wilkins. That was such a gut punch, because I remember reading it and being like, oh, he's like a low-level accept, and we're learning that being an accept is like a muscle and you can work it out. And Ingrid very innocently lets him know about it. And then Chuck murders him. And we get the only thing that Braxwell has ever said. That really, really hurt me. But I'm also in love with the character. I'm sure this will be news to everybody. I love Zaylan.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic. I was back in the day, I was a big Adam Warlock fan back when like Jim Starlin was writing him. And then other things have happened to Adam Warlock. So I just can't look over there anymore. There's just too much sadness.
Sorry about the MCU, Jay.
I will wait for an apology from
We don't-
James Gunn directly.
We don't wanna, I don't want to talk about.
But Zaylan, I loved him. I loved when he went back to his home world. And I love that there's these accords that he's not supposed to break because mechs are considered sentient life. And he's like, fuck your rules. He just destroys them. What kills must die. I'm very much thinking of getting 2 tattoos. What kills must die and walk in peace.
Confusing.
Oh, nice.
And then you
Nice.
can flip people off with both hands, and they'll be really confused.
Andrew's on Team Tattoo Jen. I'm down for it. I am down for it. Also,
You should get tattoos. I mean, I
Well,
think that they're very nice.
I'm
Thank
definitely not
you.
on Team Sylvie because Sylvie actually stole mine.
She stole your beat.
Was it Harry?
Yeah, I was gonna pick Harriet.
She just got there faster than you.
Oh man, the puns.
If you're doing it right, they will.
It's okay, Andrew. You can say one of our stories that you like the most.
He's not allowed to talk about the cursed yet, Sylv. I'm sorry.
I think he
Dang
loves
it.
Rats.
No. He told me
I
he
almost would have. I almost would have too, actually. Darn it. Well, you guys, you're gonna have a good time looking at the previews for both the Cursed and the Black Eyed Club in RippaZine number 5. But gosh, what would I have to pick otherwise? I feel like it'd be cheating if I picked anything Chuck Dixon because I'm a self-admitted Chuck Dixon fanboy. So
Rightfully
basically
so.
anything that he writes, I'm like, oh, this is my new favorite thing ever. That's great. But that's only because I've been reading his stuff since I was like 10 years old. So gosh, apart from that, you know what? I'm gonna pick. I really love how Sydney managed to get out of that really tight bind at the end of Bloodruth 1.
Oh, I bet you
my
did.
God.
I
By
bet you did.
well, so for a couple of reasons, some visual, others thematic. Because yes, Sydney is chef's kiss. That is a boss that, like the Saska said, you know how to create beautiful, powerful women.
Yeah.
You know, on that note, we should make you write more. We need more babes.
Look, I've got pigeons.
Saoirse, the
man.
babe of all babes.
They're getting
Yeah,
too
I guess-
hot. Like Saoirse is just too hot. I don't know how anyone's gonna handle that book.
I can't spoil Norfolka, but she is on one of the covers and
Yeah.
she's smoking hot.
Oh,
I
that
can-
chick.
That's a cool character. That's a cool
Right?
character.
Whoever they
Whose
are.
name
they're
I will
really-
not say.
and I won't spoil it, but she may not be the only babe in the Norfolka book.
It is also,
Mm.
yeah, potentially, yes.
But when Sydney like puts the prayer of Mary on her body in blood, that was metal.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, word?
Yay.
Okay. That's pretty freaking rad. And obviously the fans agree because that's, been one of our most highly praised books that we've had so far in our universe. So despite horror comics being pretty hit and miss traditionally, like Bloodruth was kind of the exception.
You know that image would look great on a poster or a t-shirt, just saying.
I get it. I don't think you're wrong on that.
You can also do a swimsuit edition. It could just be Zaylan. He's already been in one. I'm just saying.
I don't know if the boss wants to see Zaylan for 12 months in a swimsuit.
I do. I do. See, we can make a his and hers, right? We can have a calendar for hers and a calendar for his.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I'm gonna put this on your to-do list.
Marvel actually literally
I'll be like,
kind of
what
just
did
did that.
get there?
And it did well.
My task.
It's just all Hector and Zaylan.
Who could complain?
He's gonna message me and be like, "Why is there a request for shirtless horseman poster?" It's like, I did a poll.
You did a poll.
And
You did
Paul-
a poll of one. It's me.
Was this poll with all of your sock accounts, Caro?
Yes,
Hector
it was.
fanboy, Caro 33.
See, you're giving me way too much credit. I'm like super basic. It's like it would just say Caro alt account. I like Hector. That's all. It would do.
Well, yeah, it has been just an awesome thing to see all the stories come together. I love that you guys are going to be able to see them all together, literally in the omnibus. But man, it's crazy how many stories we've been able to tell in that short period of time, just 3 years, and again, 1,300 plus pages, and it's growing. This is Jordan, Zephyr's dad.
That is pretty hot. Just saying.
But yeah, so long time coming, and we're here now. We can do these different collections. We did the Trinity, but this is like a massive one here. And I know there's some big Omnibus folks out there. There's a lot of newbies. I mentioned this on my stream earlier that I've seen a lot of like new guys and gals that have bought into the Rippaverse, and this being their kind of buy-in point. And it's a perfect jumping in point, right? You have all the stories there. You don't have to worry about, okay, what stories have I missed out on? No, they're all there, all for the first 3 years. So yeah, go grab that, go check that out. And we appreciate everybody's continued support as we continue. Have we hit? Let me refresh this. Yes, we're almost hitting 650 total book sold. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I want to talk continuity just a little bit, because obviously everybody here plays a role in making sure that stuff is maintained, right? And I would love for everybody to kind of talk about their day-to-day process, challenges, and things pertaining to our canon and what is, what is canon, and rather the continuity of all things Rippaverse, because our own unique roles. You got the lore master, you have a creative manager, you have both EICs here, and everybody's role is obviously different, but we're all in some way, shape, or form kind of responsible for keeping up with that. That was, I guess for me, that was something that I realized early on, because I had to be a part of my code of ethics. That was a way for me to really hold myself accountable. You put something out there that early on, people are going to reference it. That right there, the Rippaverse ethic, right?
Can't show this though. Shh.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. Yeah, shout out to Edwin there. That's why they're there. But I knew also that was not going to be a thing that only I could be responsible for. Otherwise, it wouldn't have worked. So everybody was pitching in. I know I started, for example, with the Universe Bible, and then I passed that kind of responsibility on to Jen and Sylvia there. And even now, to this day, a lot of, obviously, they're handling the upkeep, and a lot of what I'm doing is, okay, I kind of keep in, and I'm like, all right, make sure we're taking this into consideration, or what have you. And we make whatever adjustments that we need to make from a continuity standpoint, helping from the storytelling aspect of it all. And before it gets published. So it is, as more stories get told, obviously the more challenging, I don't want to say difficult, I guess those are they mean similar things, but it just means that you're going to have to pay, you got to have a lot more attention to detail in order to make sure that is maintained, because that's some of the stuff that the audience obviously nerds out about and cares about, right? So you find that you're only helping yourself out by telling intriguing stories within your particular book. Like, say if you're writing a story, a book, whether it be 15 pages or 90 pages, it doesn't really matter. That it really forces us to, instead of relying so heavily on pulling like all these different characters into our worlds or our stories, which, yeah, we're going to do that, right? If something exists in Flores Park, it makes sense why you would see like Alpha Core flying around or something like that. It's inevitable, right? But not so much that we're relying on that crossover element. Like, we don't do that. For us, it's like if they'll
Flores
show
Park's
up
a big city.
Right, exactly, right? So you can tell a story that, sure, they may get mentioned, they may even show up, but it's still going to be central to whoever that character is. Like Bloodruth, you see Gooding, you see Michael, you see Lillian, but it's Bloodruth's story, right? At the end of the day, and she's doing her own thing. The same can be said for some of our other stories, and that really is our way to a way to make sure that you're not confusing things, because that's what ends up happening, and that's why the crossovers, like what you've seen with major publishers, it gets a lot of them in trouble. Because like, you're like, well, wait a minute, didn't this character just deal with this and that? Why does this happen? No, it's because they tried to force this crossover, and it wasn't really an organic situation. So, Kara, I would love for you to just talk a little bit about, with that being part of our Rippaverse ethic, talk a little bit about how you kind of approach that internally with making sure that continuity is maintained.
I say no a lot.
Not
I know.
wrong.
Yeah.
Even
You
to me.
also say not yet a lot.
Yeah, I do. So one of the things that Eric has been really firm about is, well, not firm about, it's a conversation piece he and I've had back and forth, in that when people try to write comics or superhero comics right now, and it's a thing that we've encountered with almost every writer so far. They're trying to get to like where DC and Marvel is right now, and it's like we don't have to do that. Like we can be cool at like a lower level. And so sometimes what happens is when a contractor sends in a story, I kick it back and I'm kind of like, hey, I really get what you're trying to do, but I need you to like tone it down, like bring it down just a little bit. I'll pick on Andrew a little bit, because when Andrew sent in his initial pitch, I was like, this is really great. We're not there yet. Like, I need you to back it up just a little bit, start slower. And yeah. And build up to this place that you want to be, because like the big story that Andrew wants to tell is actually really cool, but it's like it's so forward in the future that was just like, no, like let's focus on this, because this is your strength with this character and the story that you want to do, so let's showcase that. And I can't remember, and not that I would name a writer anyway, but we had another writer that was just kind of like, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to bring all these people in, and then there's going to be this big explosion and aliens.
Yeah, no, I think everybody has done that. Like, I don't think that, like, not even to pick on really anybody individually. I think even myself, I could find myself getting way too far ahead, and you got to kind of tone that stuff down, because you got to realize, like, we're in year 1, year 2, year 3, and while yes, you have these big publishers that have been around for 70 years or something like that, and you want to get up there, it took them 70 years to get there, right? So, and that can be very difficult. That can be very difficult to do. So it's not like, I think that you bring up a good point, and like you have to kind of be a realist, and Carol is like the realist within the company, that she'll be like, okay, it's great, but do we really need to do that? Is there a better option? Like that's part of her job, and that she has to do that with everybody here. It's not just a single person thing, but it keeps us on the rails. That's what she's doing there, and keeping us on the rails. And it helps myself. It helps every writer here, so that we can take our time. We're not going anywhere. Customers willing, and let's just make it a little as organic as we possibly can. We'll get to the end game eventually. And I'm glad you brought that up, because yes, part of you kind of got to say no sometimes. Sometimes you got to be like, or it's like something, we'll get to it. Like, it's not this story will be. I know of several scripts, one in particular that I'm thinking about, that you'll probably feel me on, that a lot has to happen before we get there, right? It's great script's great, right?
It's got the kitchen sink, it's got aliens, there's an explosion in the background, and I'm like, that's really cool. We're not ready for it. We're
not there yet. We're not there yet. It's
a really cool script.
It's a great script, but it's one of those that there's a whole lot of other stories that need to be told before that one can be like justified, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's a fantastic point.
And I will say, like, Andrew and the twins are really good about like tampering my stuff too, because I'll get like super excited and they're like, oh, that's really great, but no, like we've already got this going on over here and that's happening there. I'm like, oh damn, you're right.
Everybody needs a reminder.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, in Yaira 3, I feel like some of the best notes came because we did something that was a little too not in the scope of what Yaira is doing. And then, boss, you had this really great idea. And guys, when you get Yaira 3, when you read something that might be really shocking, you're like, what? That's him. We implemented it, but it's I don't think the story would have been as strong without that note. And we've just brought so many things in, and we got notes from Caro and Eric, and there's no such thing as a bad note, just bad implementation of your note. So don't fall in love with your scripts. Don't think that you're better than anything. When somebody gives you a note, change it, because they're not coming from an angry place. They're coming from a how can we make this better, because they're your reader. And they're the first line of defense before it goes out into the world, and the whole world is reading it. And then they're going to read it and be like, why the fuck is this happening right now? And they're there to make you look good.
Carol
that is such a
notes
good point.
nicer than everybody ever.
Oh, I
no,
work,
like
yeah.
in the film industry, I wish I could be like, you tell Caro, and then Caro can tell me.
She can translate.
I can't talk about this project, but I'm going to very vague book about it. There's a project that is not even in discussion about a character that we created that's a spin-off. And I had an idea that they were going to do this thing. And you said, I love it, but you guys are really good at doing that thing. So what if you did completely the opposite? And I sat with it and I was like, you know, she's right, because everyone wants to see the thing that she said I should do instead of the thing that's going to make everyone be like, oh,
yes,
why did you do that? I don't want to see that anymore. I've already seen that. Now I want to
see this. So
this.
It can be, yeah.
So yes, I get very nice notes. I love it.
I'm very proud of y'all for being so vague.
Yeah, you're so vague.
That
I'm
was
like, what are we
impressive.
talking about?
That was
You were so
impressive.
vague that even for a moment I was like, which scripts are you talking about?
You know though?
Do you know?
Do you know?
I've read them all and I don't know.
Fuck you, manager. You know everything.
Carol knows because she's read like 50 scripts and she's like, oh Jesus, another script from
Oh yeah, I remember I pitched something else because it was like, we're gonna do this, but it's something because of other reasons we can't do that. And I brought it to Carol and she's like, that's great, but like not right now. And I was like, you're right. There is a lot of stuff happening right now. So I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, fans, there's a lot of stuff happening.
Also, as far as continuity, just to go back to the omnibus real quick.
Yeah.
It's so nice to read like ISOM 1, 2, 3 back to back and read Yaira 1, 2, 3 back to back. And it just feels good. You know what I mean? Because it's fun to read it in pieces, but when you have it all together, I remember going through the omnibus and when I found Saints and Sinners in there, I was like, it has everything. Even if you've already collected everything, guys, it's nice to have one book that you can grab and have everything in there. Like if you're going on a long trip, you want to shut your kids up, just give them the omnibus, walk away. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's man, it is going to be. I'm interested to see some of these new fans because they're going to be like, you know, it's a different perspective, right? Where you get it over the course of 3 years, and now they're going to have these newer fans are going to have this big book that has everything all at once, right? And I'm interested to see how they digest that, like what their experience is going to be with a story like that. But yeah, just real quick before we go to Andrew, like I love that you know you brought up like kind of the notes thing, and I think people often get it sort of twisted, like even like my role, because while I am the owner of the company, I think that I don't rule with iron fist. It's not, you know, that's not my style. And even if like I'm going to like make my mistakes, right, and be like, well, this happened or this is happening simultaneously, and that may get in the way of it. And I have to be reminded by my team, like, well, hey, you don't forget that or keep that in mind, right? And some things have to change, right? There's been so many different acts. Chuck can speak to that. There's one big thing about like the Horseman, for example, like with how he was constructed initially versus how he ended up once you guys learned about it. Like there was notes, just to tell you that much. There were notes that needed to be adhered to before it got to that point. And nobody takes things like personally, right? It's like, look, yeah, we're gonna have our powwows and try to make whatever makes sense, but we're all on the same team trying to have the same like outcome. Rather, the conclusion ultimately is serving our fans the best things that we can. And I think it's easy to work with everybody here because that they have that attitude. It's like nobody's giving you the note or the reminder to crap on you. It's to we're giving you the note because we want you to take that into consideration, and we want to elevate. Everybody wants to elevate the story. I bring that up because I'm no exception to that at all. Like it's not like, oh, I told story and therefore everything that I tell doesn't get edited or doesn't get changed or something that needs to be there. Like, no, that's not how it works. It's like, well, no, I can have something that needs to be edited or changed or adjusted as well, just as anybody else does. And that's important. That's very important to have that. But yeah.
It's not even in the scripting process because, like, I think earlier in this year, Sylvia was kind of like, we can't release this book because if we release this book, it spoils this book.
Yeah,
so we have to move.
Facts.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Facts. I'm glad you brought that up because that's a perfect
that
way.
That was a funny one.
that's
Yeah.
a perfect way to describe how like how I get corrected, right? Because I'll go into it like this is going to be our release schedule, right? And then I know there's actually probably a couple of if not a few instances where one of the sisters have been like, well, this is happening in this story, and therefore this needs to come out before it. So it doesn't like we can't publish that yet, right? And it's like, or if we're going to do that, we need to change something in it. That happens. You know what I mean? That's such a great point.
What's the famous message from Eric that we all like look out over our shoulders to see in either the leads chat or the editorial chat? What's ready?
Yeah,
it's what's ready. It's what's ready, and I've been pondering. Those are the two phrases that.
Oh
make
yeah,
me,
if I say I've been pondering, you're about to get You're about to get
like, oh shoot! So in 15 minutes, this I'm pondering is actually going to be an reality.
Yeah, you're about to get something laid on. If I say that, like, because
we are fluent in Eric-ese over here at this point.
Oh, that's so good. But yeah, Andrew, what about you? Obviously you're a creative manager, man, and you play a role in some of the making sure our continuity is maintained. I love it. You've again even checked me on some of the things and like, hey man, I saw this and I'm like, oh shit, man, I got to go in there and change that. But yeah, I just would love for you to talk about kind of your role and all of that.
So it's something I'm really thankful to be able to actually have as part of my job at this point, because when you first brought me on to editorial, I was really just like, for the first couple of books that I was editing, it was really just like, all right, let's make sure grammatical stuff's good, let's make sure spelling's good, no typos, all that, yada yada, punctuation, whatever. Yeah, commas. Yeah. And that I was more than happy to do that, but then that kind of slowly blossomed and elevated, and now I get to actually have a little more, I guess, empowerment when it comes to the editorial. And I feel like that's something that is actually, not to toot my own horn, kind of a strength, because I'm a bit obsessive with lore when it comes to some things, where it's like, all right, if I enjoy a thing, I like to know all the like super intricate minutia stuff that most even like big fans of a thing don't even think about. Like it's no secret I'm a big Harry Potter guy. Like there's stuff in Harry Potter that is like my favorite stuff that most Harry Potter fans never think about. So I love that aspect. And so I love going through the Bible and kind of having eyes on everything. And yeah, it's a blessing, because it's kind of an elevation. When you get an elevation responsibility, that's a kind of emblematic of trust and faith. And that's something that should never be taken lightly, no matter what your position is. That's somebody putting trust in you to be able to actually handle things like that. And so if I do make a note on a thing, it's because I'm like, oh man, like I really want to make sure that this is all, we're buttoned up. It's part of our code of ethics, that the continuity is, straight and buttoned up and things. And the Saskas are great about that. Caro's great about that. So yeah, it's a really enjoyable part of my job. And it also is super fun because I get to have eyes on everything that's going on, which I absolutely take advantage of. It's like, ooh, wow, there's really a lot coming down the pipeline, and I can like take into account all of these things.
Are you saying you're using it to get ahead? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if you're going to pass the baton like that, why not?
That's good. But yeah, so everybody has, they play a role in making sure the stuff is maintained, and it, like with their own right, they're constantly having to cross-reference, check up on things, make notes to others' works, and it all ends up working out in the long run. Let me fly through some of these real quick so we don't get too far behind.
Supers.
We got Cajun Corey with a 5, says, hell, Jen and Sylv. Hey, Carol, sup, Andrew, and congrats on your speech to character. Oh, hey, Eric. Yo, what's up? I'm here. I'm just here. Thank you.
He's just the boss.
He just made everything.
The boss is just an accessory now.
He just
this thing has outgrown me anyway, man. So I'm just here.
We had one stream where we're putting people on the thumbnail, and that like Eric came in and he was like, "It's my stream. I should be on there too." And we're like, "Oh, sorry. Let's put you on there."
That was a note. That I distinctly remember that thumbnail. I forget which stream it was, but I do remember that. And Eric having a comment was like, I should probably be on there somewhere. I guess.
Might as well.
That's so good. Oh, yes. Big shout out to Joking Lee giving us that update. Yes, we just hit 650 books sold, closing in almost $95,000 in total sales. This may be a six-figure omnibus. So thank you all so much. Appreciate that.
That's
Big
crazy.
time.
Boss.
That's wild. I've been
yeah,
told that nobody makes or buys omnibuses. Pay no
Yeah,
attention
right.
to my
There's no
several
audience
hundred
for that.
pages.
Don't look at my books in the background.
Yeah, pay no attention to the omnibuy
I
on
got
my
stuff.
top shelf here.
Back there, leave that stuff alone.
You have the Berserk Omnibus. That
I
was
do.
like that
I
blew
do.
my mind. I was like, my boss
leather bound too.
reads my favorite comic. Who is this man?
Leather bound too, baby.
I like
Cajun,
none of that.
Cajun Corey, I appreciate you. We have Garfield Bizarre Adventure with 4 months. Has got my Horseman comic. Love seeing the aftermath from Welcome to Flores Park. Also, I'm looking forward to Yaira 3. The Saskas left us on a cliffhanger, and there might be another one for you too.
I was gonna say, don't forget the cliffhangers because they're gonna keep coming.
Oh yeah, Yaira 3, you can be dangling off that damn cliff.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible 2.
Yep.
Oh, great reference.
It's gonna be a good one. So yes, Garfield Bizarre Adventure, I appreciate you. Glad you're enjoying Horseman. Be sure to put out those reviews and such. I know Andrew and his team have been keeping up with those because we do our little videos and whatnot. So thank you all. Thank you. Okay, we have Andrew, another Andrew with a 5 says
It's a great name.
Yeah. Oh, Andrew's everywhere. Got Andrew writing, got Andrew the colorist.
I was gonna say the colorist on my short story was an Andrew as well.
Is also an Andrew. So
Gentleman and a scholar.
Says hi, Carol. What did Brandon do to make you chase him through the warehouse? We never found out. Congrats on the closeout.
So that was actually other Kara. Yeah. So there's
Yeah,
Kara. Yeah, there's Kara and Kara.
And then Carol, yeah.
Yeah,
Poor
poor Eric.
she would have caught him.
However, you're both
I'll
short.
call one the other.
Just one of you is shorter than the other.
Like all the time. So
Yeah. But I won't tell you what Brandon did to get chased around the warehouse, although it did make me laugh. So
we got Brandon's in the chat right now. He says because I'm an asshole. That's what he said. What's up, Larry? My man.
You game with him, you'd know.
Yeah. Oh shit, dude. I got there's an old video that it popped up in my feed of mine, old video of mine.
Is it the Brandon, GTA one where he drives off the cliff?
No, that was H1Z1. He killed me. There is a GTA. Oh man, there were some old GTA laughs
That's old lore.
But yes, the H1Z1 where he drove killed us. When he drove off the cliff because he wasn't braking. I gotta find that and reshare that. But yeah, that was on H1Z1. What a time where he literally gasses over. If you don't know what H1Z1 is, it's an old battle royale. And instead of breaking down this hill in our little car, he just hit the gas, and the car obviously lost control, and it ended up flipping so fast that it hit the ground and blew up, and we died. We both died. And he was like, "I was braking." I was like, "You're lying, dude. Like we know that you were gassing." I gotta find it. I know exactly where it's at. It popped up in my feed the other day and I saw it. So yeah, hilarious. Larry Parker with a 5. Well, he says I'm enjoying tonight's panel. Y'all are hilarious. He also said with a 5, my ideas always hit when I'm waking up. What about you all? I've written lots of music from something I heard in a dream. Yeah, for me, it's like it's random, man. Like, yeah, when I get an idea, I try to like note it because sometimes that idea it'll get loose on you, man. You'll have it and you're like, fuck, I lost it. So I try to, jot it down with the various apps that I have to remind myself of that general concept. I don't think I have a particular I tend to work more at night, but I don't have a specific okay, when the ideas are hitting, I just tend to write and be creative at night. What about y'all?
I'm inspired by bills. So when I have bills to pay, I suddenly start writing more and I publish it. So
I can respect that, actually.
Very motivating.
Yeah.
You know what? That's business sense.
Yeah, that is. You understand as you gotta get.
And when I write, I have to write something that sells, right? Otherwise, I can't pay my bills. So
Like
yeah.
Dirty Deeds. Where is it? Where is it, Caro?
I gave it to Eric. He's got it. Here.
Oh man! Shout out everybody.
I know where y'all work.
But yeah, what about you? I don't know. What about you, ladies? Is there like a particular, will it be a time of day or something that you're doing that you're most creative, or those ideas are hitting you?
Well, being filmmakers, we have to be creative even when we're not feeling creative. So I can feel the crunch. But if I need to like let my mind go, I'll either shower or take a walk. True story. I forgot Winslow Valiant's name. I'm old school. I write things down on paper, and I wrote it down and I couldn't find it. And I knew his name was Winslow, but I couldn't remember Valiant for the life of me. And I kept thinking of other names, and I was like, was it Winslow Valentine? No, that's a stupid fucking name. And then I took the dog on a walk, and we walked for a really long time. And I think I was picking up her shit at the time, and I was like, Valiant! It was Valiant.
When you remember, right?
No,
That's
because
Wow.
you have to let your. I don't know.
That's
who
a
said
shitty
it.
inspiration.
Guys, if you're having a drinking game with the puns, like just check yourself. You're gonna die.
careful.
You are
I was
going
gonna make
to
sure you're
die.
not doing it on an empty stomach. All right.
Yeah, we should have had a disclaimer because we go too fast with these. Oh,
Yeah. But I'm a firm believer of when you stop thinking about something, like trying to force it, it will just come naturally to you. So I had to just stop thinking about it, and I had to be like, oh, I better pick up this poo before someone tries to pet this Rottweiler that you don't just come up behind and pet. And then it was like, Valiant. That was my boy.
Yeah, I try to see it in my head, just like when we're doing a movie. I try to see what the story is, and I kind of imagine where the character is going to go. And often it's walking this little guy.
Stole my answer.
puppy.
Little guy.
Stole my
you
answer.
don't walk this dog.
I would never walk this rat dog.
Oh, don't listen, Bruce.
I'll get you and your little dog.
Don't listen.
I can't pick up my dog like that. He would take up my whole screen here.
I'm not trying to steal the thunder, but my puppy just chewed her way to freedom.
No.
Oh shoot!
You
Really?
She wanted to be on the stream, guys. Eric hasn't seen my puppy.
Oh,
Look
wow.
at my puppy.
German Shepherd.
Yeah. They there was a shelter that was down the road, and they put her on the list to be euthanized, and they had a notice out for it. And I told Eric I have to leave early, and I didn't tell him why, and so I left and got the dog.
I love it. I love it.
She's
Like
so
a favorite.
cute. We should get
Not
along.
all heroes wear capes.
I love it. Andrew, I mean, obviously you're a creative manager, so is there like a time of day or something you're doing where you tend to be a little more creative?
All of my creativity comes from bird watching, man. I just write pigeons around here. No, so there are actually two main like moments of where I'll like kind of garner some inspiration. One is in the shower. I don't know why that's the case. I got nothing for you there. But the other is when I'm working out. If I'm, whether I'm doing a run or whatever, that's when a lot of stuff hits. And maybe it's a combination of the working out and like whatever music I'm listening to at the time. That's when a lot of stuff will start popping into my head, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And so like it's funny because like I'll sometimes be on a run, and Carol will know this. Like she'll have either put out a blog post on her Substack or have like sent me a message, and it'll be a long message, and I'll read it while I'm running and respond to it while I'm running. And she's like, aren't you running right now? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, how are you doing that? I don't know, just multitasking. And so I think it's certain activities tend to breed the creativity for me. Specifically running.
Okay. Respect that. Well, got your money's worth there, Larry. Appreciate you stopping by. Dark Ultra with a 10 says they're a Hook-like character in the works. Yet feel free to spoil anything. Well, I mean, what do you mean by that? Like, obviously, I'm not gonna have a character that's big and green and I don't know, hooking up. Like that's not
Maybe
gonna
he
happen.
just means like a real monster.
Yeah, maybe it means like a
of
strong,
a,
like yeah,
a
that's,
strong guy.
yeah. I mean, there's yeah. I was just about to say that. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, you got that type of character, and you know, that's around. There's also an interesting character that's NDA.
Go ahead. No.
There's another character that's NDA for sure, but I would say those of that probably the closest that you're going to get. I mean, generally what you find with some of the Rippaverse characters is that, you know, we're taking some of these concepts, we're coming up with these original concepts, and we're taking like sure, they may draw inspiration from certain things, but there's not going to be like an exact replica of something else that you're familiar with, but there can be something that can satisfy the itch, right? And then that's kind of how we approach things. But yeah, I think that's probably the closest that you're going to get. But yeah, I can't spoil anything, of course not. I wouldn't do that. We have Andrew with a 5-star like Eric's Zaylan cap. Are those still available? I don't know if we still have some available. That's
I can actually check right now.
Yeah, I have no idea if we still have. I often never know. Definitely, it's hard to keep up with. I pay Brandon to do that stuff.
How's the Eric hat doing?
Haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah,
it's
about it.
It's right over there, hanging out. But yeah, that
deposit box, like no.
The Zaylan logo hat. The Zaylan logo hat is still available. I will drop the link in the chat right now.
There it is. So you can still go grab this hat right here. I love it. I wear it everywhere. So yeah. We have East Coast Touchable with 5 said, dude looks inspired from Red Wally with his hair uncovered. That said, I love speed, and blue is my favorite
flavor of crayon.
I didn't make the joke, military man.
Ready.
I wasn't ready. I didn't make the joke, military man. He made the joke. So
please tell me you're at least chopping on Crayolas and not some like Prisma or some dollar store stuff. You know, at least treat yourself.
Listen, in the military, we get what they put in the BX. Okay.
But yes, go grab the RippaZine issue number 5, which features the short story Blue Chef Trash. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this character, and I'm glad you enjoy, or you are going to enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoyed the design, though. So shout out to you. Appreciate that. So yeah, like I want to give everybody an opportunity to kind of talk about, because look, obviously we're not the only gig in town, right? Plenty of guys publishing comic books. No, right? We're not the only guys. Believe it or not, we're not the only gig in town. There's lots of other people, and many are doing awesome things. But obviously we have like a Rippaverse way of doing things, and I would love to know, like, definitely, because everybody has their experience with, like, maybe not necessarily working for bigger publishers. Jen and Sylvia have obviously that experience, and they can speak to that. But obviously, we've been fans of other publishers, and kind of, I would love for us to discuss kind of what differentiates us from some of them, and why someone maybe that is on the fence or is new. I think this is a place for you to. I think this could be a go-to form of entertainment for you. Now, obviously, we were talking about earlier the continuity aspect, right? And why and how that's like so important to us. Okay. Sure. You'd like to think that others like prioritize that as well. I don't know if it's part of their ethics, for sure. But for us, we have, like, for example, a position that is specifically in what the Jen and Sylvia do, that is designed to make sure that everybody is on their shit, for lack of better terms. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that everything that we do is going to be perfect. That doesn't even mean that we're not going to make our mistakes, but it does mean that you can understand and know and trust that every story that we publish is crafted with that in mind. Which it really does set us apart, because I've seen it talked about the experience with others, and how sometimes things can feel like a free-for-all with other guys, because you're trying to do the coolest thing that you possibly can. And look, if you are someone that's been around or a company that's been around for 100 years, maybe that's all you can do, to be fair, right? Like, it's easy for us to say because we're only 3 years in, but it is unique in the sense that we started that way. It wasn't something that, hey, we came up with a couple ideas and then the universe formed. It was more, well, we're building the company with the universe in mind. And every idea that we have, every book that we publish, every person that we bring on has to be on, like, that's a prerequisite. That is a requirement for them to be able to work with us. And for us, they have to prioritize that. You have to understand and appreciate and consider what happened before, like, you're coming up with that new story. And that really sets us apart from, I think, or it's not necessarily what sets us apart. It's what makes the Rippaverse. It's unique to the Rippaverse in the sense that that's part of our brand. Really, that's what we do. That's what we do here. We're about maintaining our continuity. Carol, what about you? I mean, obviously you worked with other publishers as well. Actually, I kind of poached you from some others. If we're going to be completely honest, here, what do you think, from your perspective, kind of separates how we approach things, maybe versus some of the other publishers?
Well, for example, you don't hire your best friend to write a Gary Sue character and let him do whatever he wants with it. That's amazing.
Okay.
I think the one thing I like is that when we consider bringing on a new writer as a contractor, you actually have like a one-on-one call with them to like kind of go over like how they're feeling and answer any initial questions. And then if they need any material, you get a list and you send it to them. You basically give them reading homework, which I think is really nice.
That is true. I
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. You're kind of like,
It's funny. I just did that again not too long ago.
Yeah.
With some person that may be writing for us in the future.
I hope so. I like
Yeah.
that person.
Yeah, person's cool.
But most of the publishing houses that I've worked for in the past, it's got like some nepotism in it where they just bring in like their best friend and they let their best friend do whatever they want. And even if it doesn't publish well, they keep letting them do it. So like one publishing house I worked for, they wanted to like do this one character in the story. And it was probably the worst thing that I have ever seen. In fact, I even told the person it's the worst thing that I have ever read. And they were like, "What do you think it will sell?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." And spoiler, it didn't sell. And then for some reason it was my fault. They were kind of like, "Well, why'd you green like this?" And I was like, "I didn't. Like, here is my entire receipt list of me saying no the entire time." So when Eric was like, "You want to come work for me?" I was like, "Yes, I do." Save me.
Ladies, you've worked for other companies. And like I said, it doesn't even need to necessarily be a knock, right? When you're looking at what differentiates us or what the Rippaverse experience is versus something else. But you guys have experience with doing things with other publishers. Like what makes this whole thing different?
Well, we got really lucky because our story for Black Widow with Marvel, No Restraints Play, that was right before the company was acquired by Disney. So there was still a lot of really hardcore fans that were super passionate about the material and the characters. And I feel that's what we have at the Rippaverse. It's not people that are out for themselves. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to self-insert this and hire 20 of my different buddies. And, this will stroke our ego for whatever." It's people who actually love these comics and it had some kind of an impact on you growing up. Like, I'm the biggest Spidey fan in the world. Spidey was a huge part of me growing up. Chris Claremont's X-Men was a huge part of me growing up and the person I became. And I look at these stories that they're very important. They are very important to give you escapism. People don't have to give you your money. People work really hard for it. Things are really expensive. So you want to put the best quality product out there, and everybody in the company looks at it the same way. And I like also that we don't take things personally. Like, I've had people be like, "I don't like Yaira, but I loved Bloodruth. How is it the same person?" And I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all.
I don't care. I'm glad we got you on something. And so many different people are like, "I like this character. I like this character, but now I can't. But now Saoirse's the hottest, so she's my favorite." And I'm like, "Me too." You guys are right. It's totally like it's nice that people are excited. People are comparing different characters together and being like, "Oh, this guy would kick this person's ass," or "This person would," like, that's what being a comic fan is about. And I felt a lot of that disappeared because a lot of bigger corporations bought companies that we loved and the characters were no longer serving the stories that they used to. It was more of a message, it was more of a political push. And as political as everybody is in their own private lives here, we leave that at the door and we don't bring that into work.
Yeah, like Sylvie was saying, forgive me, Marvel and DC, but it's sadly the truth. When I was working for Marvel, we had a great editor, Jake Thomas.
Yes.
He was fantastic. He was a real fan. Like everyone at the Rippaverse is a fan. No matter what position they have, they're reading the comics. They love the characters. They have their own favorites. And Jake, when we were working with him, we kind of teamed up with like, I know you want to do this that references that, but we got to be sneaky because they don't like us. They don't like fans doing fan stuff anymore. And that was just as Disney acquired the movies. And then it's like the Eye of Sauron looking over and being like, the comic books, we need to control the comic books now. And then that was pretty much it. I'm honored that they say that our Black Widow is one of the last great Marvel comics before they're like, nah, shut it all down. And with DC, they don't care about issue 100. They're like, we want to sell a shitload of issue number 1. We're going to have a whole bunch of variant covers, and we don't care if it continues on. If we got a gay character, we'll find the gayest writer we can, throw him on there, sell a bunch of copies. And then issue 2, it's like that meme with like the water, and there's the one in the wheelchair underwater. That's what they're doing with it. It's like we sell issue 1s here. We're an issue 1 company. And that being said, you guys still have a Wonder Woman story of ours. I can't wait for us to, one day for you to take it off. I was told by a friend that that's what they do. They buy scripts.
Yeah,
they shelve it. They wait for you to do something else that's great, and then they're like, "Oh, put that out.
Put it out. We got the Saskas too."
I like I've said many times. So chat, bear with me. Every company, both comic book companies that I worked with, knew that it was a childhood dream of ours to write comic books, and they gave us the "This will be your home. We're so happy to have you" speech, and that was a lie. And over here at the Rippaverse, I got something very similar. Like, we're happy to have you. We feel you're irreplaceable. When you said that other people asked to write Yaira, and Boss, you said like, nah, I'm gonna ask them first and see.
That was so fucking cool.
That was one of the. As an artist, you work so hard, and you just have this dream of someone believing in you. Yeah. And it took me a long time to find my way here with the company. And I'm so glad that Second Street Marvel sent you Black Widow.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Bless.
Trinity,
shout out Second Street.
Thank you. It
was good people.
He's wonderful.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Wonderful.
Awesome
Hates
dude.
pedophiles as well. The best.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No wonder he loved Black Widow from y'all.
He did. Oh, he's a darling.
It's just nice to work in a company where there isn't that kind of ego, especially from up top. And you get that a lot in films, but you would create these cool characters like Bloodruth, and then you're like, here, you guys can write it. And it's like, that's just unheard of.
Oh,
entertainment. That's unheard of. Like
in our first comic for Marvel and Night Nurse, we had to beg for a panel of a flashback with Matt Murdock in an alternate dimension. And it took forever because it wasn't our editor. He's like, I have a lot of people I have to ask if he can even be there. And I was like, all he's going to say is thank you. And they're like, we're gonna know. Hang on there. We're not really sure. And then, Yaira already has the Alpha Core with her. Bloodruth already has a connection to Gooding. So it's so exciting to be able to play in this sandbox. It's wonderful. It's like it is a dream job. It's not just a dream job of writing comic books. It's the dream version of being able to do it. Because it used to be like, if you want to write comic books, you just sign whatever contract Marvel and DC gives you, and that's it. You just have to take whatever they do, and you don't have any rights to any of your characters. If you've written something and created something, no, you didn't. Marvel did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Andrew? You wanted to speak to, obviously, in your experience of obviously being a longtime fan like I have been, and like even maybe creatively, and what you see how our approach is that makes the Rippaverse kind of unique, that will be enticing to like a new reader.
So yeah, I do have that perspective of coming from a place of being a longtime fan, and of both DC and Marvel and Image, Top Cow, all of these other publishers, even Archie Comics as well. So I grew up reading all these guys, and something that I'm really proud of us doing here that has, I think, at the larger publishers they've gotten away from is the importance of scale. And you did touch on earlier, it's easier for us to say that as a only 3-year-old company compared to an 80-year-old company, right? But that's still something that, you know, should have been taken into account along the path of those 80 years. And there are a lot of moments that happened in some of these larger companies' publishing histories where they had something really cool happen, but it's, to use an unpleasant term, problematic for the storytelling and the world building, in terms of you kind of just introduced something that breaks your universe, and breaks your continuity, and does something that's like, hey, that was actually really cool on the page, and if this was just like a one-off comic book, that's awesome. But when we're talking about an expanding universe, and we're talking about something that you need to take into account everything else that's going on, you create a ripple effect there, and all of a sudden you're going to have to either pretend that thing you just didn't happen, and then it's going to feel really contrived that if something happens to that character that could do this one thing, suddenly they can't. You know, the storytelling gets away from you when you have that happen. You have to really take that stuff into account when we're talking about an expanding universe, and something that I've always really strongly aligned with you, Eric, on, from, gosh, I think I found your channel somewhere around like 2017 is when I first started watching you, and kind of being in the chat and going back and forth a little bit, is like, you always, that was one of your like biggest criticisms, like even, you know, set aside the social political stuff and all of that, like one of your things when you were reviewing comic books every single week, because, you know, I found your channel because I had just recently gotten back into picking up DC and Marvel comics after a couple of years hiatus, and I was like, man, am I just old now? Like, did is something busted in my brain? Am I missing something here? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna screw it. I'm gonna look on YouTube. I found your channel. I was like, okay, so either I'm not crazy, or if I am, I'm at least not alone. And so like I was listening to you. I was like, yeah, okay. So he's saying some of the stuff that I'm thinking, right? Like, the world building seems like it's busted. The continuity seems busted. Why does nobody seem to care about that anymore? And that is something that we are so dedicated to here at the Rippaverse. All of the writers, whether it's Eric, whether it's Kara, whether it's Saskas, whether it's Chuck, you know, to toot my own horn, like something, and this is, guys, this is something you're gonna be able to judge me on when you read RippaZine 5's short story, is that I had access to all of our world building, and I was taking all of that into account as I was building out my character, building out, you know, the story. And so I had all the tools. So you guys get to say, all right, so he had all the tools. He doesn't have an excuse if he wasn't able to tell a good story in this universe. It's a matter of like, all right, so can he do it? So
it's a really fucking good story.
Please let me know if like you guys want more blue shift, or if you're like, all right, stick to your pigeons, bro.
It's good.
Like, you know,
it is good. It for sure is good. It is good. And speaking of, we have someone else joining us that can also give us a little bit of perspective.
My man,
it's our man, Katie. What's up? What's up, dog? You're muted. My brother. I think you're muted. You muted.
There we go. Yeah, I had to try. I had my own mic muted. That's crazy.
Yeah. What's up, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just chilling with the kids. We went and got something to eat real quick, and
nice.
You know, we're back, so it's all good.
Nice.
How dare you be family first? How dare? I'm talking to HR.
Right? How dare I?
Yeah,
they're only my children. No.
Since you're here, Katie, I mean, we have been talking. We kind of been going around the table, kind of discussing some of our, you know, more so pitching kind of to the audience, kind of what really differentiates the Rippaverse from some of maybe other publishers and how they approach storytelling and really just company stuff in general. And I wanted you to speak to, as someone that's been on the inside and you've done stuff with obviously other folks, kind of to that and your perspective and what you think, you know, it really separates us and makes us kind of distinct from other companies.
Well, one of the biggest things, and first of all, impressed me. First of all, was you when, because I told you, and I'm very, you know, frank about when people ask, because you shifted how you move, That was literally the only reason why, like, the appeal was there, because you know where I come from.
Yeah,
I went through all that,
Mhm.
all that mess in 2018. So I saw that and I was just like, man, like, for you, because many people talk a game, but many people don't actually shift and make the adjustments. And you have maintained the course, and that to me is impressive, man. That speaks volumes, because you know comics are flaky, man. I mean, it is, you know, an artist, and you got creative folk, and so you get a variety of personalities, man. And some people are crazy, some people are fanatical, some people think it's like a religious cause, you know, some people it's just like, we just want to make stuff people like. And you know, number one, seeing how you move, and that's, you know, when I reached out, I was like, man, you know, I get it. When I saw Ice, I was like, I get it. I get the vision, man. And I'm huge on that, man. Like that, casting that vision, and you do it all the time, and just even the small things. And you know, we always say pivot. You know, the way we adjust and navigate. You know, I mean, I say, if anybody's seen that movie, Remember the Titans, he said attitude reflects leadership, and it's true. Like our attitude, our mindset. I know, you know, me personally, you know, I've learned to just be in the position of a art director, you know, learn to assert when needed, and then learn to how to, you know, cultivate, you know, an artist and help them become the best, because that's what people did with me, you know. And honestly, that's what's happening even working at the Rippaverse, you know, like learning so many different like business aspects. So that's the first thing. The second thing, freedom. Like freedom to create, man. Freedom to, you know, come up with, you know, you guys mentioned it a little bit, you know, coming up with concepts and ideas, and you know, having a platform. Like, you know, where I came from, man, it was very rare that, you know, you got a chance to talk as a creative to a writer, or really anybody.
Yeah.
Like it was usually through, you know, through email only. You know, and then I know it's still protocols and stuff, man, but it's like, like never, like I don't even like never get to bounce off like nothing with nobody. And so it was like you just kind of felt out there. And then the third thing, man, is like we genuinely care, first of all, about each other, and then second of all about what we're making. Because if you don't believe in it, man, nobody else will.
That's true.
Like they say, you bet on yourself, and you did, man. Like you're coming up with the Rippaverse. I remember when you first came up with it, and I was, you know, I'm watching from the sideline, watching from the, you know, from the shadows, you know, just kind of watching and seeing how things go. And because I've been through so many iterations. You know, there was years ago when I got started, man. There was a group, I won't say their name, but this is back in 2004. And it's like, you know, you're ambitious, you're excited. I was probably in my late 20s, early 30s kind of thing, you know, still new, you know. Went to the convention, man, got the, you know, the gig, and then it was just like problem after problem. So up until the Rippaverse, man, my experience with comics, man, has been like a roller coaster. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Some jobs are horrible. You know, some jobs are like some of the best opportunities you can have. But, you know, most of the arena has been in the indie realm, which honestly haven't done big two stuff. It's more exciting working with fresh creators, new creators, because there's so many new ideas, there's so many new concepts. You know, everything hasn't been done, you know, like people think, you know, coming up with something new, something fresh. You know, it may not even be a new idea. Sometimes just flipping it and spinning it a little bit.
Frankenstein in it.
Exactly. And you know, that's the beauty, man, of the Rippaverse, man. Like our characters, yes, they're archetypes of characters we all know and love, we grew up with, but it's the story. Like Bloodruth, to me, is one of the most complex characters I think we have. But at the same time, she's super relatable because she's trying to.
She is. Yeah.
I mean, you got family. You know, she comes from. You know, it's almost like, you know, the being the youngest. You know, it's like all these different things, man, that she has to deal with, man, and still in the midst of all that, her mission, of protecting the innocent from who knows what, and in the realm of the arcane and all that stuff. But such a variety of like characters, man, that we have, like that to me is that's what makes it is so unique and so fresh. And I've always been drawn to like the obscure characters, and even though our characters are starting to become like household names for a lot of people, man, like they still have enough kind of like that indie appeal that you're not pigeonholed into massive amounts of history. Like, to be honest, like you can only do so much with Superman because he's done everything. It's like, how many times are you gonna kill him? How many times are you gonna bring him back? How many times
make his cape flow the other way?
Right. It always flows up for some reason, like little goofy things like that. Like you can only do so much, but with Isom and Gooding, and like we're just scratching the surface of so many characters, and then so many on the way. It's just like, dude, like this is and like I told you, man, like this is home to me. And I've been in the industry long enough to know the difference. And when it's just a gig and when it's actually feels like you can actually grow. And I can say, one, I've done more art here and some of my best stuff here than I think I ever have for anybody else. And actually enjoy doing it. It's like, you almost like, it's almost, to the point, and, I'm not blowing smoke. I mean, like legit, like, you may get a gig to do something, man, but it's just like, man, I gotta get back. I want to get back to the Rippaverse. I told Aaron, I was like, man, I love drawing our characters, man. Like we got so much like pizzazz and swag and, vibe and all this stuff. Like, and they're so diverse. They're so different. Like nobody, but then, when you see them all in the same like space, man, like it always blows me away when I look at the calendar piece. It was like, man, we got that many characters.
Yeah, it is crazy, man.
And that many
those are killer.
Yeah, and I was telling you, like, everybody talks about, the heroes. I was like, dude, there's just as many villains and more, and like they got their own calendar space. You got stuff, Derek up there, and like certain people that I couldn't put at the time because they weren't even released. But, but yeah, it's exciting, man. Like that to me is kind of what sets us apart from the big two, because a lot of times, man, the big two, it's a machine. So they're just finding placeholders. You're finding a place to put people. You say you care, but at the end of the day, it's like people's tweets say otherwise. It's like, I'm telling you, man, like it ain't what people say it is. And a lot of times to get to that, I guess you want to say, super space, man. Not that working hard is bad, because we work hard. But it's almost like a freaking clocking in at a factory or something. You punch the ticket and watch it go by, and punch it again and watch it go by. Go home, wake up, do it all over again. So it's like there's no fun in that. It's creatively draining. There's no excitement. You don't have creative people to draw from, and I feel like, man, we got that classic studio vibe that they had in the 90s. Even though we're not all in the same space, it's a studio, man.
Most definitely.
That's how it was,
It is.
So
it is. And like I said, everybody's input is like, look, the reason why this thing works is because everybody gets to kind of put their input on everything, and they put their own spin on everything, and then it becomes this awesome. It's no like one. It's not central to one person. One creative, one idea, one mind. That's not how we operate. It's more. It's really a combination of everybody's little ideas, and we're elevating each other, and that's how we get where we're at right now, to where we do have these awesome concepts with various characters and various storylines. Like, I think even like you bring up Bloodruth, like, it's a character that, me and Marcos, we come up with. The sisters are the ones that are responsible for that awesome story, right? Like that's what they came up with, right? That's what they came up with. So again, that's like, you know, there's just 4 people alone. Like, not to mention the creators that are a part of it, right? Where
Yeah.
you talk about like obviously the writer and the you know, the color, excuse me, the artist and the colorist and Michael and Brett. Like, they're obviously all awesome. But it's like, to get to just that one story, it took that collective effort to make that happen. And that's very much like kind of the attitude with the whole entire company, or the approach with the whole entire company, where it's like everybody has their expertise, they have what they're doing, and we're all just kind of chiming in, and whatever happens out of that happens. And often what we get is some awesome story, a book that people like, character that people enjoy, want to see more of, and that's what it's about, man. Here, man.
I like working with Kanan, because like sometimes when I've had to work with Kanan to like, you know, do like, I don't know, like the Dirty Deeds cover, right? And he was like, well, what do you want this cover to look like? And I was like, I don't know. You are a boy. Make it look cool. And I walked off. That was it.
Good note.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did. So big shout out. Make sure I'm not too far behind there. We have Andrew with the 5 says, can we see the twins pup again before the stream ends? I
think we can manage.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just really love dogs, and Carol's dog is gone.
I'm sorry, but she did chew her way to freedom. Like,
oh dang.
Yeah, no, you missed it, Kanan. While you were out, she decided to chew herself through the leash, and then came in and she's like, I'm here now. What's up?
Wow. It's like, how in the world did that happen? Such as puppy dog. So
yes.
We got you, man. We got you. There it is.
This is Prince Bruce. He thought he was in trouble, but he's not. You're just famous.
Well, there he is. Andrew, I appreciate that. Sent quite a few super chats today, so thank you so much for that. We got Larry who says, Kanan, when does creative inspiration? Yeah, this is a question that he asked for us earlier. Now you're here. Like, when and how, like, you know, you get that creative like inspiration.
Usually, man, like I try to think kind of the non-conventional. Like, there's a cover that I'm working on that I've showed you. Like, it's a different concept. You know what I mean? Like most people wouldn't probably think along those lines, but it's like I'm always trying to like get something, man, that's very like out of the ordinary, like whether it be an angle, whether it be a perspective. When it hits, usually, man, I don't even have like a specific time. Cause sometimes, I've drawn stuff, man, and it just ain't clicking. And you can tell when it's not, it's taking longer. It's just like, but sometimes it's, you'll go online, you look at a photo, or you look at, this image or that image, and it's like, bling, oh yeah. And a lot of times the way my mind works, man, like I'll actually see the thing in action. Yeah. And so, especially like when doing like pages and stuff, I'll do the effects and like all that in my head, like I'm hearing it and moving and and all that stuff. Like, for example, we did the Saoirse pages. Like, there was a fight that you wrote, Eric, and I was like, that's dope. I was like, I really want to show like the contact, because you don't see that all the time. Like, sometimes it's just like a pow, and then, but with her fighting that guard, I was like, man, I want to show like the contact. So you saw her block, strike, and but I wanted to not only that, but to feel the impacts and the how, because when you read beat, it's fast. They're just like beats, and so if you read each panel like super fast, it's like, and that's how it's supposed to. That's how I wanted to deliver. So like I said, it's usually sometimes I'll go on like an Instagram and look at somebody else's artwork, and I'm like, okay, now it's time to draw. Yeah, because sometimes it can be dry, man. It's just like, but you see that one piece, it's like, okay, let's go. Yeah. So hope that answers the question.
No, I think it did. I think it did more than enough. Shout out to Larry. Appreciate that so much. Joe Music thinks this is happening. He's already calling in Blue Ship #1, 2026. Appreciate that so much, Joe Music. I think you're gonna love the story. I really do. And by the way, just catch everybody up real quick. We are at hold on. Yes, 656 books sold. Yeah, almost just under 5,000 away from 100,000. Jason with a 20 says, how would it be possible to use AI to assist the Rippaverse database to support ease of official project development as well as fan research, character wardrobe? I'm assuming you're meaning like a wiki, like a public, like using AI assistance to like basically maintain like a public wiki. Sounds like more what you're talking about. That's not anything I've ever considered. Obviously, we have our own universe Bible, which we're manually upkeeping with adding different additions and stuff like that. So it's not anything that I've really just like pondered on of something that we were going to ever do or was interested in. So I don't know if that's even a realist thing. Obviously, AI is developing and making code and stuff a lot easier. If you have that direction, I understand that. But yeah, it's not anything that I've just like sat and like really just pondered on. So I honestly don't really
we have stuff on the website. You just have to click. So
yeah, there is a lot of information to navigate over on the website. Definitely our characters section. We got all sorts of stuff and goodies there that you can check out. That'll be absolutely like it's informal. Let's just say that you'll learn a little more about the character and stuff like that. You also probably should get the cards, which I have a binder over there that I'm not going to show off of the cards. Can't wait for us to get to that point to where look at that, where we can show you off those all those cards. Because man, that binder is sick, man. That binder is so sick. But it'll be up for sale soon enough, I promise. Just hold what you got.
We've just bullied him for 6 months about it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Okay. So I do want to again go around table again, kind of let everybody sell their perspective for this Rippaverse Omnibus with me going first. Of course, look, I think personally, it's just me, that this is a great investment. Right? The reason being is that, well, I think whether you are a longtime fan and you just want to a piece of history, definitely if you get that collector's edition, like the one with ISOM on the front. But also, especially if you're a newbie, that's really the big benefit of having that omnibus. There are those, though we are only 3 years old, many of you reach out to us saying, hey, can we where do I start? Like stuff like that. Well, if you get this omnibus, you're going to be all caught up, right? All caught up, minus the RippaZine issue number 5 and everything that comes out after that. But you're going to be caught up for the first 3 years and have everything, like literally everything that we've produced. And you're going to be able to, it's going to be a good read, right? As well for you. So you can digest all of that. And obviously from then you'll be able to decide if you want to keep up with all the Rippaverse material or you have a book that you like. Like, for us, this is very much a fan-produced kind of thing. And what I mean by that is a lot of the ideas that we end up implementing or executing it comes from, it's funny, we were talking about this really to open the show, for example. It's like it starts as audience demand. It's like you guys bugged the shit out of me and asked me to do things. And I'm like, all right. And then after the
you have to consistently do it, though. One time is not enough.
No, that one time is a lot of people giving me ideas for one thing. But when I have 50 people saying the same thing and bugging me on it, then it's like, ah, shit. Okay, I guess it's something that we need to do. But no,
this is release the Eric sketch. We've been bugging you for this for years.
Well, that one
money, Eric. It's printing money. You're just
it is
right there on the table.
Not wrong. But yeah,
at this point, I'll threaten to release the Andrew sketch if we hit a certain benchmark on the freaking RippaZine 5.
You might get the Andrew sketch before you get the Eric one. So there's that. But
do it at 50K, Andrew. Do it.
But seriously, it's you guys let me know what you want, and then I'm like, all right, I'll try to make it out. Like the binder, the binder, by the way, is already in production, so those are going to be also able to ship really, really quickly. We've already greenlit the production on those, and it comes from you guys asking for it. You want the place to keep all these cards that we've been coming out with. Okay, the binder gets produced. Omnibus is the same thing. Obviously we know that there's a big market for that. You've shown that it's a pretty big market for that, as we're about to hit 6 figures on this thing. It's a big market for it, but also just practically it makes sense if you are a person that's intrigued by the Rippaverse or want to be intrigued by it, interested even mildly. the Rippaverse Omnibus is perfect. It has a nice mix of talent. It has obviously newbies, vets, the Chucks, you got Soskas, got Mike Barron, Will Conrad, Cliff Riches, as well as some like the Saints and Sinners guys, which again they've been around the block, but they're a little younger. We got all that talent. So go grab the Rippaverse Omnibus #1. It 11 p.m. Yeah, 11 p.m. Central is going to end. So you got a few hours still to go. Carol, I'll let you sell them on this as well.
Okay, so hear me out, guys. I know Eric's talking about it from a place of passion, and I sell things to pay bills. So you're in some situation, your castle is under attack, and you run out of boulders to use in the trebuchet, right? I will have you know that this omnibus is better than a boulder, and if you launch it, it will go through walls better than the Kool-Aid Man.
It's
okay,
true.
it will cause cars to flip.
Yeah.
You will get the Michael Bay explosions in the background, and at the end, your enemy will be defeated, and the book will still be there. All right. I really sold that. Please buy it.
That is a great sale. It is 1,300 plus pages. Yeah, you're probably gonna be able to use that as weaponry. So
yeah, and the funny thing is, like, after we launched it, Eric was like, "Wait, we can put more stories in there," and I was like, "But we're still proofing those." He's like, "I don't care, add them," and so we added them.
3 years, still
Yeah.
first 3 years, get them in there.
Yeah, so if you were watching the numbers on the stuff like suddenly go up, it's Eric's fault.
Yeah, the page count on the collection page for the omnibus went up, I think, twice, because Eric was like, man, y'all were being like, hey, is Saints and Sinners going to be in there?
Saints and Sinners was a big one that was part of that, yep.
And Eric was like,
yeah,
we're adding Saints and Sinners. No. It was, so I've been thinking. I was like, oh, all right, here we go. All right. What if we add Saints and Sinners? All right, let's be 100 here. Like, let's keep it a buck. It's not what if we add Saints and Sinners, Eric. We're adding Saints and Sinners. That's what you're telling us right now. Like, all right, so we just jumped this thing up another 100 pages. And it was like, you know what? It's still technically July that we had Norfolk launch. So why don't we add that too? And then we're just like,
good idea, boss.
Right.
Love it.
There it is.
Let's add
1,300
more. Let's go,
pages.
guys.
So when Caro says you could launch this thing from a trebuchet and it be a genuine blunt instrument of destruction, she's not exaggerating.
That's crazy.
1,300 pages is a lot.
I'm gonna put it in my home gym, and I'm gonna use it when I have to do, like, my full body workout.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
Mhm.
dumbbell replacement.
Two of them,
Yeah,
it'll be like
yeah.
walk around,
Like
you
a
know, the one where you
kettlebell,
walk
basically.
around holding them, right? Hold your arms straight up as long as you possibly can.
Yeah,
Jack
pretty-
real fast.
that's pretty good.
Who knew that you could get a workout with books?
Man.
Okay, I'm done now. Thank you.
Oh, appreciate that. What about you, Andrew? You want to sell the audience on this massive book?
Honestly, I don't know if I could sell it better than Caro did with the whole weapon and violence aspect of it. But I will say this: my favorite part
Ah,
Yeah,
of the Rippaverse Omnibus is having certain stories sequentially. Because there is a lot to be said about how you experience a story when you get to kind of like digest it all in one hit.
Yeah.
Right. Like when I was a kid growing up and, my dad showed me the first 3 Star Wars films all in one hit, like being able to experience those all right away is different from like when he saw them individually in theaters. Right. There's that long wait in between. So in the same vein, being able to experience the entire ill-advised arc for ISOM is a completely different experience from reading ISOM 1 in 2022, then ISOM 3 in 2023, and then ISOM 3 in 2025, right? It's a completely different experience. And I actually envy people who get to just kind of like read it all in one hit, and it's kind of that beat for beat. And I promise you, if maybe you're one of the fans that you dove in on Yaira, you dove in on Bloodruth or Horseman or whatever it was, and so you haven't actually read the ill-advised arc yet, or maybe you only read ISOM 1, if you get this omnibus and you read the whole thing just straight through, and I promise you will read it straight through because you won't put it down.
it goes fast.
It will hit so differently. and it will hit hard. Like that is a really great opening arc for a character. And it's the same way with having, Yaira 1 through 3 in one hit, being able to read both Horseman Welcome to Forest Park followed by Horseman 1. Like it's pretty rad, man. Like being able to experience things sequentially and experience full arcs, that's cool. That's really cool. That's one of the reasons why, even though, when I was and still am like collecting individual issues of comics, if it's something I enjoy enough, I'll pick up the trade so that if on a reread, I don't have to dig through all of my short or long boxes and, unseal my resealable bags. Instead, I'll crack open the trade. I'll experience the whole story in one hit again. Like that's something special, and you'll be able to do that with this omnibus for a lot of stories.
It's good.
This is great sale. What about you, Kaden? You've done a lot of work. Obviously, you got a story of your own in there with Saoirse. That'll be a part of it. But yeah, go ahead and sell the audience on all of these stories that we have in this omnibus.
It's, if anything else, man, it's history. First, complete story arcs. Not only that, but on the creative side, you get to see artists grow. From book to book, they get better. Just the amount of detail. You get a collection of like somebody's craft, their ability, like condensed into one massive art book, essentially. Even though it's a book to read, but it's an art book, and it's Rippaverse's firsts. It's the establishment of the beginnings of these characters, and you all mentioned before, if you never bought a book, you get the major story points of each of our flagship characters right off the bat. And then, now you can just kind of, when other things come out, you're like, yeah, I read on that, or it's like one massive epic, up to this point. So like, and you guys mentioned, being in chronological order, that's even cool, because most omnibuses aren't like that. They just kind of collect everything together, and you got, okay, this is the Superman chapter, or this is so-and-so chapter, but being able to read everything almost like a timeline, like, oh, so that actually took place before and then the Horseman took place at the same time, so it's like all those little bits and pieces, man, like you get all that. So if you want history, get the book. If you want amazing art, get the book. If you want it as a weapon, you can do that too.
See, it's an all-purpose. It has multi-uses.
It replaces the classic phone book. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna look around. You can actually beat people with a phone book. You won't scar them. No, but it's an amazing piece of history more than anything. And what better place to jump in if you were hesitant, or you just didn't weren't really sure about it. Yeah, you can get it all in one swoop, and even then, like, you can choose what you want to read, and even in that, it's broken up in chapters and titles and all that stuff. But it's definitely worth the investment, man. It's awesome. So
there you go. What about you, Sylvan Jen?
What happened with ISOM doesn't happen every day. Like, a guy loves comic books. He sees that the comic books and the characters aren't what they used to be anymore. So he puts his money where his mouth is. Yep. He invests in himself. And the first one comes with $3.7 million. And just keeps going like that. This company is an independent, small company. Yeah. And it's only 3 years old.
Yep.
And you look at the omnibus and you're like, holy shit, this is 3 years old.
Yeah.
Because the universe has grown so much. I mean, we've got street level guys, we got super cops. I can say the spoiler, we got a guy who got his powers from God. It's got some cool stuff in there that you've never seen before. We're even going to space. Oh, wait, my hand's here. Space? Like, it's nuts, man. And we're not even a little bit going to space. We're really going to space. Like, it's and we're going to hell. We're going to all over the place. And then it all kind of intermixes together. And you get to see it. It's like what you guys loved about Saints and Sinners being an anthology, but this is the anthology of all anthologies because it encompasses everything. Sorry you weren't fast enough to get in here, Andrew, but everybody's in here. Right?
Omnibus too.
Right? Omnibus 2 starts with you. Anyway, but I love it. I think it's such a cool reference.
That's my starting block.
Dude, right? The amount of times I've read the omnibus. I remember at one point, because we're all editors, I was like, who's going to edit this thing? 13,000 pages? That's a lot. And then I was like,
all of us.
I know, right? I was like, of course it's all of us.
Yeah, this is an instance where it takes a village, I think.
But I start reading it, and I can't even spoil what it starts with. It starts with this story, and you're like, damn. And it's a really good story that kind of shows you stuff. God, I was so close to ruining something. And then you keep going into the rest of the superhero stuff, and you're like, this is a huge world. This is the entire foundation of everything you need. If you're a collector, even if you just want to make money, man, get this. Come to a convention, get all of us to sign it, CGC that, boom, investment. You're gonna it's you're basically saying no to money if you don't pick it up.
They'd have to put it in like a toy case or something.
I
there's
know
no way they have a slab big enough for that
it's gonna
thing.
need its own special case. Anyways, Jay.
Well, everyone has said very wonderful things, but I think the number one reason that you should pick up the omnibus is because you deserve it. It's the difference between having basic ass bitch cable or a satellite with every streaming service. No,
a basic cable.
Right. I recently, filled out my nerddom because everything made right now is kind of shit. I become a Trekkie. I become a hardcore Trekkie, and going through next gen, I don't know how some of y'all just like survived from seasons to season, like season 3 to season 4. Stuff happens there. And now with the omnibus, you just rip through that thing.
Yeah.
You go all the way through. And also, like it was mentioned before, you might have just put your Yaira money aside. You might just have your Horseman money. You might just have like your Chuck collection. You might just be an Eric like loyalist zealot, and you've only gone there. Well, now you can get the other pieces that you've missed, and also the zine. Also, if you're not paying $8 for the zine, you have more troubles. Get the zine. It's only $8 or absolutely free if you're a member. And need we remind you, the more members we have, the closer we get to an ongoing animated series of the Horsemen voiced by Dean Cain.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Yes, we can. More boyfriend. Yes.
I need boyfriend. I need boyfriend, guys.
You
Come
just
on.
sold Caro.
I need boyfriend.
Caro literally just as Jen made her pitch there, Caro created 37.5. Don't ask how the half happens. Stock accounts on the Rippaverse website, signed up for the $5 membership just to push that needle forward.
You guys should have seen me in the warehouse when the CGCs came in, and I like surrounded myself with all the 10s.
Oh. Hector's already a perfect 10, am I right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, boss. I'm sorry.
let me get to some of these, because a bunch of them came in not too long ago. We got my man's Larry again, says love to everyone in the Rippaverse. You all and your work are being invited into hearts and homes. I hope you all realize the gravity of what you all do. Comics got me through some really tough times, man. I appreciate that, Larry. Obviously, good dude. Got to hang out with him not too long ago out there at Bell County Comic-Con. So much love to him. He's an awesome dude, and I appreciate those kind words, brother. Much shout out to you. Many shout outs to you, man. We got 1992 Space Movie with the 4 months says now I'm wondering if Blue Shift is going to be in. It's not. Next one, obviously, if we do 3 years, 3 to 6 or something like that. He'll be
unless you guys hate it so much that Eric's like, you know what, that one didn't happen.
doubt that happens. I highly doubt that. Says just finished Horseman number 1. I loved it, and now I'm waiting on Yaira number 3. Yep, Monday. If you are late here, Monday. Yaira number 3 will start shipping. So
or it's already here if you stole it from Brandon at the warehouse.
Yeah, if you got it from Brandon, it's right there. Thank you so much for that. We have Andrew said my favorite parts of the Rippaverse are the Saskas. Keep it up, everyone. Easy enough.
Thank
Easy enough.
you. Your check's in the mail, other Andrew.
It's just me on an alt account.
That is
Dark Ultra with a 2 over 1,000 pages. Yes, it is. That's a lot of paper cuts. That's true. That's true. That's true. And of course, man, Professor X says with the 5 says, can't wait to have the official binder next to my DIY binder. Good to see y'all at Bell County. Always good to see you, man, at every event that we do. It was awesome to meet you and the fam, bro. Had a lot of fun out there. So much love to you. Yeah, that binder is about ready to be put up for sale. So be on the lookout for that once it gets here. I can't wait there. And yes, go get the Rippaverse Omnibus. Obviously, not too long ago, we also launched RippaZine issue number 5, which features a short story called Blue Shift Trials, written by our own Andrew Rodriguez right there. And artist by Edu Salza. Shout out to Andrew Kramer as the colorist as well. That dude. Big demand for a character like this. So we love that you're loving it. Can't wait for you to read the story. As the Saskas mentioned, you can get it for just $8, or you can just get it for free because you're a member on Rippaverse.com. That's the easiest way to get it. But if you want to get it outright, it's also the collector's version. That's only $20. Go grab that over at the Rippaverse. I want to give you a chance real quick, also before we bounce, Andrew, to kind of talk about this short story. Obviously, you've done like some little fun stories in the RippaZine before, but this is like the first kind of big one, at least of this magnitude, man. How you feeling? Because man, the audience is like they're stoked on this, man.
No pressure.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, none at all. No pressure at all, bro.
None, not at all. No pressure whatsoever. No, the audience response is what I never would have expected, because that would speak to like a level of entitlement that I couldn't put on myself, but it's what I absolutely could have, like, at my wildest dreams hoped for. Your guys' support has been incredible. My feed has been blowing up on Instagram and on X, and the comments on YouTube with just like so much like enthusiasm and praise. My goal with this character was, and Eric, you can agree with this, because in my pitch I was like, we have all of these cool characters that are all over the kind of like moral spectrum to different degrees, right? We have these incredible anti-heroes like Yaira. We've got these like really brutal characters that, I don't know if you could have somebody more appropriate to write a brutal street level vigilante than Chuck Dixon.
Right.
That's kind of hit. Oh, look at Caro swooning with her copy of Horseman in hand. Who could have expected this? Not me, not at all. And you have Isom, who's this like really morally complex character with all these crazy intricacies to his backstory and to his family history and all this stuff. It's like, man, like we have all of these things going on for us. And Chuck is also like, hey, why don't we throw in some freaking cosmic stuff as well? And then puts out a banger with Joe Bennett in Zaylin What Kills Must Die, which I might be a little biased because I don't have the same affinity for Zaylin that Jen does. However, that I would argue might
swimsuit part at the end, and still no.
I did. It didn't. I'm sorry. It didn't have the same effect on me as it did you. But that might be the work. That book might be the work of Joe Bennett's career. Honestly, that book is so incredible. Good. Like you pair Marcos Martin's colors on that, and it is literally out of this world. Yes, it's pun intended. But I looked at everything that we had going on, and I was like, man, where's our like classic everyman, like really the heart of gold, like light in the darkness superhero, And I was like, man, we need that. We need that because we're in this position. We're so blessed with our fans and the support they give us, to where we're able to reach into all of these different niches and different demographics and have such incredible success. Like, shoot, like I mentioned before earlier in the stream, for Bloodroof to have been as successful as it did, obviously that's a testament to the charisma of the Saskas and how great they were for pulling in their their horror fan base, but also just emblematic of the quality of the storytelling and Michael Montanet's art and all of that.
Oh yeah,
and Brett R. Smith on colors. It's a gorgeous book. But we're able, if we can like do that with such, you know, a more niche genre as horror is, like what where's our like broad like gateway drug, for lack of a better term, character, right? Where it's like, look, I started at Marvel Comics with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Makes
Who
sense.
is that really broad demographic character. And then after I was hooked on that character, I was like, well, I like this universe. I'm gonna check out these characters. You know, I'm gonna check out this book over here. And as a result of that, I was buying more Marvel comics at the time, right? So
Right.
I wanted to try and bring people something that could maybe hook in a slightly younger audience, because a lot of our books are kind of like older teens and up.
Right.
And when I say older teens, I'm like 17 and up.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, maybe it's because I lean a little more conservative. I wouldn't be giving my 11-year-old Bloodruth. I love you, ladies.
What kind of kid are you raising?
I'm not raising a Tosca, is what it is. You know, so I'm a little more conservative on that end. So it's like, well, what's something I could feel comfortable or put myself in the shoes of a parent who would be of the same mindset, where it's like, all right, let's get them into this thing. And then as they grow, then it's like, oh, well, here's Isom, here's Horseman, here's Bloodruth, here's all these other things. And so you get that organic growth, and then you have that rising tide, and you start to see increased top line sales everywhere. And you just, all of a sudden, you create a fan for life who's invested in your entire universe.
Yeah.
And that's what I really wanted. And I wanted to do that in a way that captured a younger eye. This is something that manga does really well, that American comics has not done really well for a long time. Not since like maybe the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking like Jeff Johns writing Teen Titans type era, right? Like, it's been a minute since we've had that. And not that I'm the writer that Jeff Johns is, to be very clear. I'm proud of my pigeon short stories. Y'all can tell me what you think of Blue Shift tryouts. But my point is, I wanted to have an entry point where parents could feel comfortable of diving in, and also have that launching point where it's like, hey, as they grow, now they can be interested in just the world that this character they started with resides in. And so now they're checking out all the other characters. And then maybe they eventually are like, that was cool. I started with Blue Shift, but I'm more of a Bloodruth guy, right? And hey, I like Sydney too. I wouldn't be offended. You know, so I wanted to create a character who had a heart of gold, and at the same time was not above making mistakes. Sometimes a heart of gold can lead you down a path of being maybe a little too jumpy, and you're so dedicated and so committed to wanting to do something out of good intentions, but sometimes out of those good intentions you make mistakes. And that's the growth arc and the story that I wanted to tell with Zephyr. So hopefully you guys check out Blue Shift tryouts and RippaZine number 5. A lot of you guys have supported it so far. Like, the fact that we're only a couple days in, it crossed 20,000 in total sales. You know, that's incredible. Like, I could not possibly express adequately how grateful I am for the outpouring of support and enthusiasm you guys have had for this. Eric mentioned earlier, like, in my pitch meeting to him, I was basically the meme of like pointing at the freaking Always Sunny in Philadelphia, right? Pointing at the board with all of the red yarn and everything. Like, here's all the screenshots of, you know, fans who were demanding this type of character, a younger hero, and all of this. And I was like, well, and these are my plans for stuff down the line. Like, this wasn't just a like, hey, I've got an idea for a 16-page short story. No, I had an idea for a 16-page short story because I had an idea for like a 130-page story. And Carol was like, cool, but not yet, bruh. And so, you know, thank you, Caro, for being so supportive of this project. And
thank you for putting up with my editing. It was a very intense 3 months.
It was, but it's something that I value, because you only improve if people who are better than you at something like take you alongside them and say, well, this is how you get better, right? Like, Eric, you and I both ran track. We didn't get faster by competing against people we already knew we could dust.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not how that works, right? You only get better by competing against or being trained by
Yep.
people who are better than you. And so I'm so grateful every day to be surrounded by such incredible creatives, whether it's, on the art team, Kanan, Igor, and Marcos, the writers, Eric, Caro, the Saskas, Chuck. I will not fanboy in this moment.
Yeah.
It's a very blessed place to be, and I'm very grateful for it. And I'm so incredibly thankful for the outpouring of support the fans have had for this. I really hope and pray you guys enjoy the story and that we get to tell more stories with Zephyr and the supporting cast that I created around him. I think you guys are going to love him. I'm pretty confident you guys are going to love him, but only you can really determine that, because we are a fans first company. So if y'all don't like it, that's that. But if y'all like it, we get more.
Yeah,
right?
That's how it
so
works.
you tell us.
That's how it works. Appreciate y'all.
Get Great War too. If just for no reason, also get Great War. No reason for blue. No relation.
No reason whatsoever.
But just don't sleep on Great War for no reason. I just felt like saying it.
Yeah.
You should get Great War because it's written by Chuck Dixon.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's an easy sell.
And drawn by Jack Herbert, which is like the easiest person to edit in the world because he just turns
so
in pages.
Yeah.
And you're just like, cool, man. Thanks for turning in another great looking page.
He's so good. Yeah. So go grab that. You can go grab RippaZine issue number 5 right now. As it just hit 800 total books sold. So thank you all for the love that you've been showing for RippaZine issue number 5. I can't wait for you to read Andrew's story as well. We got some. Oh, we did get some more super chats. We got East Coast Toaster Boy with a 10 says, you know what? I may buy it for my dad, who's a comic guy. He sold all his comics instead of giving them to me because he needed money for moving. Oh, damn. But still, well, yeah, I think that'd be an excellent gift for your pops. So yeah, go grab him the Omnibus. And by the way, big shout out to everybody in the chat. Much love. I know we got some guys that are always around. See Nick Weiser, for example, in the chat. Some of the team members. Big shout out to you. Professor X with a 5 says, just bullied a friend into buying an Omnibus. Let's go. You be losing money not buying it. You bum. That's my last argument for. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We support bullying here of that variety.
That is very, very, very true. It's a good way to approach that.
Sound investment.
Shout out. Much love to you. Seriously, man. Everybody that lets the friends and family know about the Rippaverse and turning them into new fans, man. I love that. I love hearing those stories. So appreciate that. Professor X, much love to you. And my man's Raider with a 6283. Oh, shout out to my man's Raider. Much love to you, brother. Appreciate you being here, man. As you always do, showing a lot of financial love, man, through the super chat. So appreciate you. Thank you so much, Raider. Thank you. And we also have, of course, Scorpio with the 10 says the Black Eye Club releasing soon. Also, Gooding number 1 Delta Base is going to release early 26. It's hard to give you a timeline on some of that stuff, but obviously, yeah, Black Eye Club, Cursed, both of those books, we're looking to get those to you as soon as possible. Because, yeah, man, they're so good. And, yeah, we need to kick off this little rivalry. Well, the rivalry's already kicked off.
Those books are
I
meant for
can't
children.
wait to get out of the room from her. I am counting down the minutes. It looks like it's almost over of having to be next to her. But also, Eric, thank you for the first opportunity of me not having to work with Jen.
Oh, dang.
If y'all don't know about the rivalry, whoever sells more books is the winner. No. Never gonna happen. I've already sized her for a Lillian shirt. I don't want to say who did it, but we have to wear the other's shirt, Lillian, all month long and produce a video where we say the other twin, me, was better.
I feel bad for her.
That's amazing.
Don't buy the book. She needs to add a reality check.
I cannot wait to promote Redacted more on social media.
That was the curse. It was the curse. Carol didn't know what we're cooking up in Black Eye Club, so I'm just chilling. I don't care.
I mean, I really appreciate your sacrifice of being in the room together right now. I know you're doing your best. Thank you.
It's hard.
I know. I have a contractual thing where it's like never in the same room. We usually have like a visual effect where we do a line in between, but now it's been a long 2 hours, chat. It's been a long
Anything
2 hours.
for the omnibus, you guys. Anything for the omnibus.
It's Andrew's night. Black Eye Club.
No, it's the Rippaverse fans night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, man, I can't wait for that, for both of those really to get released. It's gonna be a fun time. So you got less around 2 hours and 45 minutes to grab that collector's edition. We are almost at $98,000 in total sales, almost hitting 675 total books sold. So go grab this right now. We thank you so much for this support. This is closing in on being another six figure. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't even expecting that for 6 figures for this omnibus. So the fact that we're about to hit 6 figures is kind of insane. So go grab that collector's edition. Remember, you cannot grab that after the fact via our website. That's going to be taken down. So be sure to grab the main version while you can. And yeah, we appreciate y'all so much. Or not the main version, the collector's edition. And you can get the main version. You get both of them. Why not? We got a bundle for it. So go grab that. So appreciate y'all so much. We thank you. We're gonna get back on that promo trail, and I'll let you guys know when the next time we'll be streaming. Soon enough. I want to thank go ahead.
2 quick shout outs. Zine 5 just crossed 800 copies.
Woo!
Yes.
Woo! Yeah.
Guys,
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
thank you. Thank you so much for your excitement, your enthusiasm. I see you guys all over social media. You guys are amazing. And remember, Control Z's fan prompt this month is your favorite RippaZine character.
Ooh.
So
I can't wait
whether
to
you want
figure
to
this.
whether you want to draw Saoirse, whether and I get it. Trust me, I get it. A few reasons. Salvage, whether it's Dirty Deeds, #girlfriend. I want to see some really good drawings of Renlin, please, up in my email. Andrew at Rippaverse.com. Send them there. I promise not to save them on my phone. Blue Shift is now an option, as are
baby,
the great tag team in Catch and Kill, Winslow Valiant and Betty Broke.
Let's go.
So, guys, send them to me. Make sure you get those into me by I think I said the 22nd or something like that of this month. Because we will be recording shortly thereafter.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, you heard it there. We appreciate everybody look, we got so many active collections and stuff on both Rippaverse and RippaZine. So we appreciate you, all the support that you've been showing love for the company, man. We can't say enough. Man, Epic Mike in the chat. Much love to him. He's been killing it on the streams. So follow him if you have not already as well. But yes, I'm going to get back to work. That's what I'm going to do. Thanks to all of the, all the panelists here, all the lovely creators that I'm blessed to work with every single day. Shout out to the chat, all the mods as well. So we're going to get up out of here. We will see you guys next time. And until next time, y'all be easy. Peace out.
Bye.